Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today, you have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer. Sorry, just grabbing my BB Barfly, my old Albino Rhino Beer Review BB Barflies. There's still a few of these out there, from what I'm told. A few people still have them. And we need it because we're drinking this today. Today, we are drinking Muse Flanders Red from Tatamagouche, which is a barrel-aged Flanders Red aged on cherries. It's 7.2% alcohol, so it's one of the highest ABV beers I've had in a long time. It does have a write-up here, but first and foremost, only 7 people have tapped it in. So few that it hasn't even accepted the tap-ins to give an overall rating yet. I'm just looking, the average tap-in looks to be about 4 out of 5 on Untapped. There was 1 5, 1 3 5, 1 3, and the rest were all 4s. So, little write-up, right? A new variation of another hit from the past, Muse begins with a blend of Flanders Red aged in red wine barrels, 1 red aged for 4 years, and 2 barrels aged for 2 years. We racked the beer from the barrels onto a large amount of raspberries to age for an additional 4 months. The result is a beautiful dance between the aromatic raspberries, notes of dark chocolate, caramel, and a fruity acidity, and it's developed in the beer naturally while aging. That is actually great. So a lot of times with a lot of Belgian beers, you're going to get a mixed beer, which is why it's so hard to get consistency from some of them. So you have 1 beer aged for 4 years, well, 1 barrel aged for 4 years, 2 barrels aged for 2 years, and then you mix them together, and then you age them on raspberries. Really cool. So Tatamagouche does have its own caps. So if you are a cap collector, the bottles will get you those caps. You can buy, oh shit, son. You can buy to have shipped Tatamagouche bottles. If you buy bottles to ship, you have to buy them in increments of 6. Currently, they have 7 variants to choose from. So there was one that I left on the shelf, and the rest of them I brought home. Okay, it looks brown, but it is like a ruby red almost. Starting the brown hue, like it's going ruby red to an amberish. I really like the look of this beer. That head is very small, very bubbly, and on top of that, it was very mocha-ish. And I can smell it from here. And I remember when I used to do these reviews and I'd have the higher ABV beers and I'd share them with all. I wish my friends were here so I didn't have to drink this whole bottle. But because it takes away, I need to find a friend that wants to do these with me because it takes away from everything when you're not just doing it yourself. First off, you don't have 2 people to spitball off of. Because, you get to talk about the differences and the differences that you both taste and everything else. And it's great. I can set up a fucking little thing in my garage and we can do them out there. But on top of that, you get drunk because they're so high ABV. Oh my God. That smells like the Flanders Reds you would get from Belgium. I mean, it smells... Oh, the raspberries pop. There's a beautiful sour note. There's a beautiful oakiness. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of char, tiny touch of coconut. That smells divine. I love the smell of that beer. I love it. That beer smells great. Out of the glass. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the cherry beer from, and I know raspberries and cherries aren't the same fruit, but it reminds me of the cherry beer from Nickelbrook that they don't make anymore, the Unique. And it was such a good fucking beer. That was one of my 9 5s or 10s. That was an amazing beer. It was amazing. And this smells quite akin to it. Except it's raspberries on there, not cherries. Cheers! you doing to me, Tatamagouche? Do you know how much it costs for me to get beers shipped here from you? Like, no, you can't keep making really good beer because you're not allowed. You have to start sending me beer that's shit so that I don't order from you anymore. Because, my God, that's fucking good. And I mean, Tatamagouche isn't on many people's radars, is it? How many of you that aren't from Nova Scotia and aren't weird like me and look up every brewery out there and look up news from every brewery and then start trying to find out which breweries will ship to you? How many of you knew who Tatamagouche was before? Like, how many of you, truthfully, how many of you knew of Tatamagouche Brewing Company? Because Tatamagouche Brewing Company, I've ordered their beer now 4 times. And I've never been disappointed with my orders. I'm sad that my neck gator died. I'm sad that I lost that and it's gone. Because that was a beautiful thing. They don't even have that up there on their merch anymore, so I could order a new one. And it wasn't even something I ordered. It was thrown in as a surprise in my box. This box had some stickers and a postcard that said cheers. I mean, very nice. The only thing I would say is maybe a little more than just cheers. I mean, it seems very impersonal. No, I really liked getting the postcard, even if it just said cheers. I'm being me, right? And I'm trying to talk about things other than the beer because of how pissed off I am at how good this beer is. Beautiful, beautiful notes of raspberries up at the forefront that mingle with the fruity esters of the beer itself that is being pulled out of the red wine barrels. And it was red wine, was it not? Sorry, guys, I'm just double checking something here. Yeah. So all 3 barrels were red wine barrels. But yeah, you're getting that beautiful fruity esters coming out of those barrels. You're getting some acidity coming out of those barrels. Getting a bit of coconut and a bit of vanilla coming from those barrels. And a tiny touch of char coming from those barrels, as well as the raspberries adding their floral, well, not floral, but very fruity forefront notes. Sorry, I'm getting wowed right here, okay? Beautiful fruity forefront notes, beautiful tannic bitterness at the back end that's mixing with the oakiness. Tiniest touch of char. And I mean, I don't know enough about the barrels. I don't know if they've been recouped. I don't know what's gone on with them. I don't know if they were supposed to be virgin. But I mean, I do find that a lot of things that are aged in red wine barrels, even if they were virgin oak barrels when the wine went in, come off with a little bit of a charred note at the end. And I think it's kind of the acidity from the grapes coming out of the wood. It tastes like Flanders Reds you get in Belgium. It tastes like a lot of the really high-end Flanders Reds we used to be able to get from the LCBO. It tastes like some of the Flanders Reds I've had from some of the sought-after craft breweries all across North America. It tastes proper. And it's coming from a little place that not many people know about. And this is what I say all the time. Every brewery is worth visiting. I mean, you don't know if you're going to get a Tatamagouche or a Blue Elephant, but one way or another, every brewery is worth visiting because you can have a fun time. I had a fun time making fun of Blue Elephant and their brewing faults. I have a fun time loving on the stuff I'm getting from these guys. And I wish they would personally send me an email whenever they have 12 new beers out that I haven't had and be like, hey, we got new beers, you want to order them? So that I don't have to go looking all the time, but I know they're not going to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I would love it. It would be amazing. Because I could be like, oh, fuck, you guys got new beers. Right? I could do that. And it's 7.2% alcohol. In the immortal words of my buddy Guy, this is a very, very, very dangerous beer. Because there is no warmth. There is no alcohol astringency. Well, there might be, but it's fully hidden behind the barrels, the fruit, the yeast esters, the malt notes. It's hidden behind it all. The barrels just pop in this, and it's so good. It's probably one of the best red wine barrel-aged beers I've had in a long time. It might be one of the first barrel-aged beers I've had in a long time from wine barrels. Well, actually, I steer clear of higher percentage beers lately, so it's probably one of the best barrel-aged beers I've had in years. Excuse me. And I can say, as of this point, I've had a lot of beers from maritime breweries. I have a lot of maritime breweries that every beer I've had by them are 8s and ups. Not every beer I've had from Tatamagouche is 8s and ups. There's some that have been under 5, but in general, they are probably the best brewery I have had a beer from in the Maritimes. Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland, and New Brunswick combined. This is probably the top brewery I've had stuff by. They have had some 10 out of 10s. They've had a lot of 9 out of 10s. They've had a lot of 8 out of 10s. I'm really impressed with these guys. I really am. And this beer, right here, that beer is getting a 10 out of 10. I could drink that every day. It's so good. I love you. I love you, Muse. You're my wife now. Sorry, you're not as good as Alicia. But I really like the beer. Muse Flanders Red. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.